What's up, Vibe Tribe? It's me, Salia Marie 1243 on all platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Patreon. Ooh, Patreon. If you guys have not joined the Patreon fam, if you love meditation, if you love getting readings all the time, if you like getting my inside tips, tricks, extras, Patreon definitely might be for you. Thought I would go ahead and plug that in there. It'll be down in the description. But hi, family. Hello, welcome. It's me, Salia. It's been a little while since I've posted. I am a healer, a teacher, a mystic. I am a psychic medium. I am a tarot reader. The list goes on and on and on, honey. But today we are going to be talking about psychic, spiritual, energetic protection. This is a super hot topic, just in the times that we're in right now. So if you guys have been awaiting this video, like I know a lot of you have, please right now go give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, make sure you have post notifications turned on, because I'm giving a lot of game here. Okay, these are things that I give tips about on my in my one-on-one sessions a lot, but I wanted to collaborate, put everything together and serve it to you all on a delectable platter of a YouTube video, because I do think that this information is really, really helpful. So yeah, protection. First off, let's talk about why protection is important, especially when dealing with any type of spiritual work. Okay, so if you guys are just getting into spiritual work, if you're an empath at all, starseed, light worker, sensitive person, whatever you kind of identify with, protection is going to be something that's important for you. Because I know, as much as we want to think that spirituality is all light and love, and I've heard so many people say there's nothing in spirit that will hurt you. BS. Hi. Okay, I'm here to tell you that's BS. Okay, just like anything, there's duality to everything. Just like we have light workers, we have people out here who are not doing so much light work, right? We have people, entities, energies out there who don't mean the best for you. This video is not meant to scare you. This video is meant to prepare you. I've been saying that a lot. We want to prepare, not scare. For me personally, I had to learn to protect myself the hard way. Do you understand? Okay, if you guys want a story time about that, which I'm sure you do, let me know, because I was psychically attacked recently by several different people. Probably a lot of entities, energies unknown to me as well, but there were three major ones, and I'll tell a little teeny part of that story when I talk about some of the ways that I use to protect myself. So I have a lot of things on the list. I have my notes right here, that's why I keep looking down. But yeah, it's definitely super important not to be ignorant to the fact that there are entities, energies, people out there who don't have your best at heart. That's just a real thing. Okay, so it's better, I think, to be prepared than to not. I do think that psychic, energetic, spiritual protection is something that should be on the very, very top of your list of things that you should start doing on your spiritual journey, learning more about how to do those things as you start to work with magic, as you start to work with people's energies. Also learning how to cleanse yourself, which is a video that will also be up probably simultaneously with this one. So again, this list is not in any particular order. I have some interesting stories and things to go along with some of this stuff, so I hope that you guys enjoy this. I really hope that it's helpful for you to kind of look at the ways that you are able to protect yourself, because there are a lot of ways. Okay, so first on my list I have crystals, right? So there are a bunch of different types of crystals for any type of thing, but protection crystals are some of my fave. I would say a lot of the crystals that are really good for grounding are also going to be really, really good for protection. Things that are dark usually. So this is, child, what is this? what's your name? Who are you? It's me talking to the crystal. If you don't talk to your crystals, I don't know who you are. This is smoky quartz. This one I use as a protectant. A lot of times I actually use it for soothing, for my shadow work, when I'm like down in the dumps, when I'm crying, when I'm sad, because my shadow work is hard. This is one of my favorites for that, but it's also very good for protection. You will almost always see me with a black bracelet on or a darker bracelet. It's either going to be obsidian. This is snowflake obsidian specifically. This helps with balance. But I love me some black tourmaline. I have black tourmaline on my keychains. I have black tourmaline on a lot of bracelets. Also, black onyx is really good. I'm blanking on the third one. There's onyx, tourmaline, obsidian. I think that was it. But yeah, I keep some black tourmaline on my keychain at all times. That's always important for me. Also, oh, I remember what I was going to say. I was just going to talk about a story that I had about my black tourmaline bracelets. So if you guys know anything about me, you might know that I am on a twin flame journey in this lifetime. I'm not with my twin flame. It's not going to happen in this lifetime. It's a whole long story. However, I always, like, when I started into my spiritual journey, I knew that it was important to protect myself. Not enough. That's where the other story times come in. Let me know if you want to know. But I would keep black tourmaline bracelets on me. And when I was with my ex, who is my twin flame, I would always have my black tourmaline bracelets break around him. Always. I swear I went through like 5-6 different black tourmaline bracelets. Some of them he bought, some of them I bought, all of them broken. When I tell you I have not broken a bracelet since we've broken up, and I think that really speaks a lot to the bracelets, the crystals doing what they're supposed to do, if that makes sense. So what if you have a crystal bracelet or a crystal that gets lost or broken? That really just means that the crystal has done its job, especially if it's a protective crystal. That means it's done its job to protect you. So just say thank you. Don't keep the pieces. Let them, like, go bury them or put them somewhere, because that just means that they have done their job of protecting you against the negative energy. And in that case, the negative energy was my twin flame. It's a whole thing. Ciao. Anyway. Oh, hello. I have them written down here. I was trying to remember what they were. Okay, use your notes, Salia. You did notes for a reason. Okay, so second, again, in no particular order, we have my bestie, Florida Water. Okay. I have this in my Amazon store. I have different things throughout this video. They're all going to be listed down below, or you can check the link to go to my Amazon store and get some of these things. I have a lot of other stuff in there, like my favorite decks, other like things that I use like behind the scenes, my ring lights, stuff like that. But Florida Water, this is really, really good for protecting. I also brought it up in my cleansing video. I use this on a daily basis, so I'm always ordering it or buying it from a store. You can usually get it in a Botanica, but if not, I have it on my Amazon store. But yeah, I will splash this stuff on everything. It has just a little hole there at the top. A lot of times I'll pop some on my third eye. I'll pop it on all of my chakras before I veil, which I will be talking about in a little bit. But it's really, really good for protective. I throw this in my laundry. I use this to clean my altar for it. Again, it doubles as cleansing and protection. So highly, highly suggest this. You can also make your own. There are recipes out there that include, steeping like oranges and lemons in vodka or, stuff like that. But yeah, I prefer to just use it this way. Maybe one day I'll make my own, but for now, this is the stuff. Okay, so Florida Water, that's really good for protection. Protection rice. Let me grab my protection rice. protection rice. These are my black roots. This is my hoodoo roots coming out, child. I did not make this rice myself. This was purchased at a botanica close to me by request of my guides. Different types of ingredients are in different types of protection rice, but basically, as you can see, and there's different rice for different things. There's money drawing rice. It's a very hoodoo thing to do. So again, I mentioned this in my cleansing video, but ooh, it smells good. If just because I mentioned stuff on here doesn't mean everything's going to be for everybody. So make sure that you do your own research. Make sure you use your own intuition on what is going to be for you and what is not. For me personally, love me some protection rice. I also have a story about protection rice. So when I was being psychically attacked, when I found out that I was being psychically attacked, my guides told me to up my protection like tenfold. And so this is one of the things that I got from my botanica. One thing that I did, a way to use protection rice, I sprinkled this in all of the corners of my home. It has different things in it. There's crystal chips in here. There's roots, herbs. It definitely smells like licorice, so I know there's licorice in it. This was a pretty cheap bag. If I can find anybody who makes some good rice, I will be sure to let y'all know. But yeah, I just got this from my botanica that is no longer open. But basically, everything that I am showing you guys now has been through my own research that I've discovered. Everything that I'm mentioning are things that I personally do or have experience doing. So just know that as well. I swear by protection rice when it's properly done, because here's my story time with it. So again, when I was getting psychically attacked, when I found out for sure, I confirmed it with one of my really good friends, a very powerful reader. I sprinkled it in all the corners of my home, and my guides showed me, right? Salia, well, how do you know? I'm an intuitive person. I follow my intuition. I work a lot with my ancestors. They had me to throw some of this outside. So I took a nice little handful. I threw it outside of my front door. I made sure that some of the rice landed inside the house and some of it landed outside of the house. For some reason, that was very, very important. And when I tell you, a couple of days later, ready? A couple of days later, after throwing the rice out my front door, when I tell you, so I live in Hawaii, when I tell you I opened my door, there were 3, if you don't like bugs, trigger warning, there were 3 big ass cockroaches. Yes, big cockroaches. Like, I'm talking like this big, on their backs outside of my door. 3 of them. And that actually let me know how many people were consciously throwing like some really intense magic stuff towards me. Okay, so it was a whole thing. Listen, this stuff works. I've done this more than once. That has happened more than once, and it was really a good indication for me. It let me know intuitively what was going on. Protection rice, swear by it, please. It works. Okay, so that's my story time for that. Like I said, you can sprinkle it in corners. People will put it in mojo bags. Again, a lot of hoodoo stuff. You can put it in mojo bags, in your car, whatever. I probably should put some of this in my car. Yeah, I'm gonna put some in my car. But, okay, so let me know if that was interesting to you, if you've had a similar type of experience, if anybody, you know, if you know where to find some good protection rice. I don't think I would ever give you guys protection rice off of Amazon that I haven't tried, so I'm not even going to bother with that. But let me know if that story kind of makes sense for you, if it brings up anything for you. I want to know. It's all about our intuition, and that's what, just listen. Whew. Anywho, okay, so next up on the list we have veiling. So veiling is the act of covering your head. In Yoruba they call it your ori, your crown chakra, your head. This is your connection to the universe. This is your connection This is where your information comes from. I don't know why I'm doing all this. But when I started to get psychically attacked, my guides were telling me how important it is that when I'm doing my spiritual work, that I make sure that my head is covered. So I don't cover my head 24/7, but because I am a psychic reader, I'm constantly getting information. I try to veil as much as possible. Is it cute? Sometimes. Do I love it? Absolutely not. But is it for my protection? Do I need to do it? Yes. So, yeah, just keeping your head covered. I have a lot of head wraps, bandanas. I was also thinking about doing a tutorial for those of you who love head wraps and things like that. I have a couple of different ways that I like to do mine. So if you guys want a tutorial about that, let me know in the comments. And I can do a wrap tutorial. I also have a good plug for wraps. I've been ordering her wraps for like years at this point. So if you guys want to know about that, let me know. So yes, veiling, keeping your head covered, especially when you're doing a lot of spiritual work, your spell work, things like that, it helps to protect you. Okay, so another one that I have here, again, this is in no particular order, water. There are lots of different ways to use water as protection. Water under your bed or near your bed to soak up negative energy, right? So you literally use uncovered water. That's why it's important not to leave uncovered water around and then drink it later, because it can absorb all of the stuff that's around it, right? So if you are having a lot of nightmares, whatever, if you're being psychically attacked, you're being psychically attacked, anything like that, you can leave water either underneath your bed. You could leave a bowl of it underneath your bed. You could leave it by like your bedside, and just after a couple of days or maybe even overnight, depending, dump it in the toilet and flush it down, right? You're not going to want to drink it. This is water that's kind of collecting all the negativity, and you're going to want to get rid of it. Don't pour it on a tree or anything like that. That's different stuff. I use, like, my ancestor water offerings are different. I usually pour those at the base of a tree. This spiritual water for protection is completely different. So you could also put like salt in it if you want, different things like that. But water under your bed or by your bed, especially to keep away like bad dreams and stuff like that. That's also good for protection. So speaking of beds, mirrors, when it comes to mirrors, mirrors are portals. All right, so mirrors are going to be, people see mirrors as portals. I see mirrors as portals. And so I never ever have mirrors facing my bed. Because in dream states, we can be very vulnerable. So just as a protection thing, I never have mirrors facing my bed. Yeah, that's just a note. Yeah, especially if you do a lot of astral traveling, stuff like that. Some people even cover their mirrors when they go to bed. I usually don't go that far, but I try not to have it facing directly towards my bed. It just kind of leaves things open for things to maybe like enter, and I'm not about that life. No. Okay, this next one is funny. This is a very practical type of protection. Are you ready for this? I have down on my bulleted list of protection things, shut up sometimes. Okay, and that is a direct quote from my damn spirit guides. Shut up sometimes. One of the best ways to protect yourself is not to put your freaking business out there to everybody. As many of you know, especially if you're, a part of the fam, you've been part of the fam for a while, you follow me on TikTok, I'm Chatty Cathy, right? She loves a good hee, she loves a good kiki, she loves a good spill the tea. However, that has put me in some situations that I ought not be in. So shut up sometimes. That is a great way of protecting yourself, protecting your energy. Again, not everybody has your best at heart. It would be great if we could just walk around and it was ponies and unicorns and magic and cotton candy, and even magic ain't even always good. Hello, there's light and dark to everything. So keep some things to yourself. That's not to, again, not to scare you to say, oh, you can never ever put out your stuff, but be careful who you're saying things around. Especially if you have a large platform like me, you want to be very mindful, or even if you don't, like, you want to just be very mindful about who knows your business, especially when it comes to things that you really want to succeed, your magic, things like that. Okay, so shut up sometimes. That's a really good way of protection. Okay, another one that goes kind of in line with that, saying no. Boundaries. One of the most powerful spells that you could ever cast is saying no, setting a boundary, not allowing people into your space, not doing things that are going to deplete your energy. That is a beautiful way of protecting yourself. Okay, it can be a difficult way because a lot of us as empaths, we are kind of conditioned to be yes men and to want to help everybody. We have these bleeding hearts and stuff like that. Leaves you vulnerable because, again, not everybody has your best intentions at heart, or even the people who do, they could still be draining your energy. They might not mean any harm to you, but they could be draining your energy, or whatever is attached to them could also be attached to you, depending on, so it's really important for you to say no, set your boundaries, do what you got to do, that kind of way. Okay. Next up, we have plants. Okay, so I mentioned this a little bit in my spiritual cleansing video as well. Some plants that are really good for protection. Basil is a good one, fresh basil especially. Aloe vera, snake plants, also bamboo, lucky bamboo. I talked about in the spiritual cleansing video how I am terrible with keeping up plants, but I have realized partially that is because I always have so much negative energy coming around me. Not because of me necessarily, but because I'm a light worker, because I'm somebody who works with energies. It's just kind of an occupational hazard at this point. So if you are a terrible plant mom like myself, or plant dad, or whoever you is, let me know if it makes sense to you that maybe your plants are dying because there's just a lot of negative energy around you and your plants are taking that hit for you. It's a thing, right? I didn't realize it until I started like my spiritual journey for real, but it's a thing. Okay, so those are a couple of the plants that are good for that. Up next we have salt and cinnamon. Just like your everyday table salt, or I like to use like rougher salt, like rock salt or Himalayan pink salt, Hawaiian salt, and then just like regular ground cinnamon. When I was being psychically attacked, a lot of you guys saw on TikTok that I was constantly putting cinnamon in my mouth, because the person who was psychically attacking me was doing spells on my throat chakra. They wanted to literally try to steal my voice. This was somebody who wanted to be me. Couldn't happen. Not Neville. Wanted to steal my voice, wanted to have my essence. Very weird. Never thought I would have to deal with something like that. But like I said, we all learn our lessons hard. I've learned these lessons the hard way, so you don't have to. You're welcome. It's all my light worker path, journey, purpose thing, right? But yeah, so cinnamon, I sprinkle this shit in everything. Am I allowed to cuss on YouTube? Hopefully this isn't getting demonetized. I mean, it's like slight, right? So hopefully whoever's reviewing this for the monetization process is just like, they skipped over this part. Anywho, I sprinkle this in everything. I sprinkle this in my candles. I usually light a white candle when I'm reading, just to invite spirits in, whether I'm doing mediumship, whatever. I work with spirit guides heavily. It's just kind of like, my thing that I do. So a lot of times I will sprinkle cinnamon inside of my candles. I will put some inside my mouth. I might sprinkle some around my desk. I might sprinkle some on my altar. Whatever intuitively feels right, I will sprinkle salt or cinnamon on. Same thing with salt. Salt is very good for cleansing and protection. I mentioned it in my cleansing video. Talked about that. So salt and cinnamon, you could also mix them together. I like to mix them together for some certain like spell work that I do. I always use salt as like a neutralizer, cleanser slash protectant when I'm doing spell work, any kind of spell work. It could be a money spell, whatever. You never know who's trying to like cast things to get in between the spell work that you're doing, manifestation work, whatever. So salt and cinnamon, definitely really good. So next up I have things like pendants. So they have things like the, different, there are so many different symbols and things like that that are used as protectors. I'm not going to bring up any specifically except for evil eye charms. Evil eye charms are meant to reflect negative energy back to the sender. Those are the ones where it's like the blue, it's like a dark blue eye with a blue, light blue inner circle, and then it's like a black dot. I don't have any on. I have a bracelet, but I lost it, which means it probably did its duty to me. Shout out to that bracelet. And so it probably was doing its job to deflect the people who were sending me the evil eye. Because like I said, being in the public eye, it's very common for me to get the evil eye sent to me. I could probably do a whole different video or like a TikTok video or something on what the evil eye even is, because you don't need to send that consciously. All of this protection isn't even just about people being psychically attacked. It could literally just be people who are jealous. Speaking of which, the incense that I was burning just now is anti-jealousy incense, which is also good for protection. They have different things like that. I have the anti-jealousy incense in my Amazon store. I was specifically asked by my spirit guides to get that type of incense when I went to my Botanica, and I love it. It smells really, really good. And I like to light it every now and again because I don't know who's watching me. I don't know, I love most of y'all, but some of y'all don't mean no good, and that's fine. That's a reality that I just gotta live with. So yeah, that's also one that I'll slide in there. Oh, I didn't even realize I had this big ass chunk of black tourmaline. See what I'm saying? Listen, I have black tourmaline everywhere. This is what black tourmaline looks like. They have it in, smoother forms. I like it in its rough form. I like it in its rough form. I also have one, like I said, on my keychain. I'm pretty sure there's some in my car. I keep it everywhere. I keep it in my plants. I should keep it in my plants more. That would probably be helpful. I wonder if that would make a difference. But anyway, yeah, that's what black tourmaline looks like. That is my favorite protection crystal, hands down. And then last but not least, for protection, you could also call in deities, spirit guides. I know some of you guys were thinking maybe at the beginning of this video or at any point like, okay, well, I thought I was automatically protected. Like, I'm always being told that I'm protected. And I definitely had that thought as well when I first got into when I first got psychically attacked, right? For the first time, really, really hard by all those people. I was like, well, why do I have to protect myself? Like, I shouldn't have to do all that. I thought I was automatically protected. And my guides were like, you are protected. Just so you know, we were protecting you more than you think. If you weren't protected at all, then a lot worse things would have happened to you. And some pretty rough things did happen, but my guides made it very clear that it could have been worse if I wasn't protected by them. But there are certain deities that you could work with. I'm not going to name any specifically because that's going to be up to you. Don't ask me how to petition deities because I do not petition deities. All the deities that I have worked with, like I said, not going to name drop the deities that I've worked with, but they have all just come to me. So I truly am of the belief that if you are meant to work with that deity, they will show you signs and signals of their presence and that they want to work with you. Deities can be spirit guides, right? Our spirit teams switch up all the time, so just depending on whatever you're going through in your life at the time, it could be reflective of what deities you'll want to work with for protection or whatever stuff. If you want more about it, you can book a session and we could do a little bit more of a one-on-one for me to help you confirm what deities you might be working with. give you a little bit more insight on how to recognize those things in a mentorship session or whatever, right? So that was the last one that I had. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's not an all-inclusive list of the things that I've done for protection. There's a lot of little things here and there. But hopefully that was helpful for you. Hopefully you guys understand that, again, this isn't meant to scare, it's meant to prepare. There's a lot of just negativity going on in the world in general right now. There's a lot of spiritual warfare happening. And it might not even necessarily be that, you know, you are being psychically attacked. It could be that you are in the crosshairs of someone else's stuff. I've had a lot of clients where in their personal readings, their spirit guides are like, you need to protect yourself. And they're like, why? Like, I'm not on social media like you. I don't do. And their spirit guides are basically saying, like, they showed me this scene. I always see it. You know, Harry Potter and Voldemort, when they're like fighting in the graveyard or whatever, and they have those like their little like their wands like hit each other and you can see it. And it's almost like, okay, if you're Cedric Diggory, do I have Potter fans here? If you're Cedric Diggory, you're just in the way, basically. And you could just Avada Kedavra, like somebody could just toss that because you're in the way. Not necessarily physically, but energetically. So if there's somebody that you're attached to or whatever, like, that's a thing. Okay? So, again, hopefully this was helpful. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Let me know what other videos you guys want, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.